The recording.
Okay. Okay. So, hi, Jaspreet. So, we're just talking to Pradeep right now, and I'm just taking some feedback about the journey that he's doing. So, Pradeep, firstly, look, I'm not interested in the details side of it. You don't have to discuss
Okay.
the details of what you are doing. So I'm only interested in the overall feedback about the effectiveness of so far what our intention was. I just want to find that out. So because we are recording, I don't want your personal details on it.
Yes, yes,
So
yes,
so you don't have to tell us exactly in detail what you were doing in the exercises and all that. That you keep private to yourself.
yes,
Right? So I just only want to know that our intention of week one was that we bring you to the awareness that why this is happening, and you have completed week one. You
yes,
only have 2 weeks to go, and every week we have set a certain intention, and for that intention we have created these worksheets and exercises. So I
yes.
just want to know from your side that do you feel we have achieved that intention for you? Are you able to have the awareness around why this was happening? Have you
Yes,
got to that awareness?
yes, Sachin. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, okay, okay. Do you feel anything is missing? Maybe we could have included more, or was it too much? We could have done it a bit less, or anything like that?
Sachin, one suggestion.
Yeah.
So far as fees concerned, it can be increased. It should be increased. Fees should be increased.
Okay,
But it will be better
okay,
if there is a class on this topic once in a week.
okay, okay.
Fees can be
I am,
increased. Obviously, according to the time, actually, your time is also precious.
yes,
Fees should be increased,
yes.
and there should be one class every week on this topic.
Okay, okay. Noted. No problems.
If we have the
That's
separate
good
class on this
feedback.
topic, then we will have a good improvement.
You can actually then clarify your questions or something like that. For that you are saying, right? So if you have
Yes.
a call or something, then you can ask some clarification questions.
Okay, okay, okay.
Okay, so that's good. We have noted. That's not a problem. So my question is, did you feel that was the content enough, or was it too much, or was it too less? And the pace, like the pace of it, was the pace okay, or was it too fast, too slow, anything like that? Any feedback on that?
No, it's average. It's okay. Neither too fast nor too less.
Okay, okay,
It's okay.
okay,
Neither too fast nor too less.
okay, okay, okay. Good. All right. Okay. Thanks, Pradeep. Thanks. That's good.
Okay, welcome, 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 Sachin.
Welcome, Brijesh. Welcome, Hardik. Welcome, Jaspreet. Brijesh, I think you are joining first time. I know everybody else. Can you tell us a little bit about you? Or have you joined before? Because I can't really recall if you joined before or not.
Hi Sachin, good morning.
Good
Actually,
morning.
this is my second time I joined this season. I joined around six
Oh,
months
okay.
back.
Okay, 6 months back. Okay, okay, you joined. Okay, cool, cool. I didn't remember. Okay,
See,
great. Good to have you back.
so
And
actually the thing, see,
was the
most of the
reason you
season.
were not? Pradeep, can you mute yourself, please?
Okay, okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Absolutely.
Sorry. Yes, Brijesh, go ahead.
Actually, most of the this session happened in the evening, around 6 to 7, right? And that time, I was just spending my time with my son in the ground. He play with,
Yeah,
he
yeah.
go to a playground and involved in some activities. So at that time, it is not possible for me to join the session and also take care about my boy. Since this
Okay,
time it is happening in the morning, that's why I'm here. To be very honest.
okay, okay, okay. No problems. That is one of the reasons why we wanted to try on a different time. This is the reason. Many people said the same thing, but took feedback. I've tried taking feedback from people to say what other times you can try, but I never received any feedback. So this time I just decided myself to let's just try at 11. Um, but I got feedback from many people like that. That's evening time, they get busy with family or something happens, some visitors come and they get busy and all that. So, yeah,
I thought you most of
good.
the people are comfortable in the evening. So I
No,
thought
it's,
guys will
I
not
thought the same
disturb.
as well, but that's not the case. Yeah, yeah. Even I thought the same thing. But yeah,
Right.
that's good, good. That's good.
And
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
I'm thank you. I'm saying thank you to you and other colleagues, other members who has organized this session in the morning. That's all. That is the only
Great,
thing I was
great.
about to say. Hmm? Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you. Um, Vinay, you have also joined first time. Welcome. Can you hear us, Vinay? You are muted from your side, so you have to unmute and talk. Um, okay. I don't know what happened. Um, Vinay, I'm just checking one time. Are you able to hear me? You are muted from your side. You have to unmute and talk. We can't hear you. Okay, cool. All right, let's just begin our conversation. I wanted to talk about succession planning in this one. So I've decided that we already have one other group where we talk about relationship related challenges. So anybody over here who is not interested or this is not for them, then I would ask them that they can exit this group, PI conversations, and just join the conscious relationships group. That is where we will discuss more about the personal challenges and all the other talks that we have. But this one, I want to keep it specifically for work-related challenges only now. So things are getting a lot mixed up, and some people were getting confused also because they are in both the groups. Even I was getting confused as well, that mostly we were talking similar things in both the groups. So it's now decided that we'll keep one group specific to personal challenges and one group specific to professional challenges. You're welcome to be in both the groups, or you can just be in one of them, whichever one works for you. That's up to you. I can't decide that for you. But just be clear and don't get confused because all the conversations we have decided that we will keep on Sundays only. We, um, so I know that you guys are working in your own domain, whatever you do, and you prefer these talks on weekends. However, I would also say that think from our side that this is our profession and we want to work on the weekdays as well, and that is why we prefer not to work on weekends. So that's where the clash comes that people want us to work on weekends because they are busy in their work, but then this is our work and we want to do this on the weekdays too. So the sweet combination here is that we decided that we will keep at least Saturday free for us. We don't want to spend all weekend on this as well. So we have decided that we'll keep Saturday free for us. And Sunday we will conduct one talk in this group and one talk in the other group. So both talks will happen on Sunday. One talk will happen in the morning, the other talk will happen in the evening. So that is there. If you are in both the groups, then just manage it for yourself because you decided to be in both the groups and you will get messages in both the groups about calls and all that. So don't get confused about which call is what. So just manage it accordingly. or you can exit the group which doesn't resonate more with you. That way, you will not get bombarded with all sorts of messages. So I hope that this was clear. Anamika, anything you want to add to this?
No, no, nothing, Sachin. You have covered everything. Good morning, everyone.
Okay, okay, good. So, although I suggested the topic of succession planning, I'm not sure how many people over here are actually interested in that topic. So today I'm open if there is any other topic that you guys want to talk about. So I'm okay with that because the group doesn't seem like that we would be talking about succession planning in here. And I don't want to talk about succession planning just as in discussion or a philosophical point. My intention was to discuss it with people who are doing it or about to do it or have the responsibility of doing it, and then discussing what challenges they are facing or what challenges they have faced, and what is it that they are doing, what is it that they are afraid of in doing it, or how they have successfully done it. So it was more around that, where it is the responsibility of people who are doing it or about to do it. I'm not sure how many people in this group have that responsibility. So if there's enough people who have that responsibility, we can carry on with this conversation. So can I just get people to share like how many over here have the responsibility of doing succession planning?
Yeah. Sachin, I'm Brijesh, and I'm taking care of a charge function in my company. I'm in middle role, and
Okay.
in coming time, I have to take care of successful my company. That will be my KPI. Right?
Brijesh, your voice has gone down suddenly. I can't hear you.
Uh, is it okay now?
Yes, this is better. Yes.
So I'm in
So,
HR professional, and
uh-huh.
in next financial year, I will be accountable for succession planning in my company.
Okay.
So that's why I want to join this company, and I want to know more about this, how it will work at ground level. I have gone through several YouTube videos, study materials. That is only one sided. No, here in this group, I feel I can put my questions, my doubts,
Okay. Okay.
right? That will
Sure.
definitely
Sure.
help me.
Sure. Let's talk about it because anyway, that was the topic that we wanted to cover today. So, even if there is one person who will benefit from it, I think it's worth talking about. Um, so that's fine. Can you tell me a little bit? So, look, for the others, if this conversation is not something that you feel like staying, then you don't have to. Like, I don't want to waste your Sunday morning on that one. I know that it's not for everyone. So, guys, please feel free to exit. No issues. I'm not going to feel bad about it that you exited. So, it's fine. Yeah, you don't have to waste your Sunday morning if this topic doesn't concern you.
Yeah, one thing,
Okay.
Sachin, if there are so many, if there are any other people who have some their different topic from their side, I'm also okay for it. But I know about this group.
Uh,
This group is really doing good.
no, no, I think it's fine. This was the topic we wanted to talk, and you joined as well, and you want to. So I'm okay to carry on with this topic. It's fine. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's totally fine. So uh, let's carry on with this. So now, can you tell me a little bit more about this? You said that you are about to do it. So what is it that you have to do, and what is it that you're concerned about? Hardik, it's not you have to Google it yourself. So that's not the intention of this call. So Google what the succession planning means while we are talking. So it will just waste a lot of time if we go into the basics of it. So this is this the intention of this call is not that basic. So we want to discuss the how and the what of it, not like what exactly succession planning. So just Google it.
Planning, okay, in HR prospect succession planning, whenever we hire a person in our organization,
Brijesh, again your voice is not clear.
hello, yeah, what I'm saying, whenever I hire a person in my organizations, we plan for his another 10 to 15 years career in the organizations. In that will require proper is skill utilization, skill upgradation, so that he can grow up for the next level.
Right.
For what? For that, we have to provide several trainings, several challenges. This is the I can say it's a career path for the person in the organization for 10 to 15 years at least.
Right.
This is my understanding.
Okay. Okay. That's your understanding. That's fine. Now, what so is your responsibility to do succession planning, or is your responsibility to get it done by your leaders? What is your responsibility? What is it that you are
Earlier
trying to
it, earlier it was taken care by my seniors, right? So he's going for the different level, right? Now he's saying he will handle me, but meanwhile I have to share, I have
do?
to
You have to do
plan,
it.
I have to, I have to share the plan how it will work at the ground level.
So he's going to another level, and his position is getting vacant, and it is your job to do the succession planning for him,
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
although it
I
was
have to
his
support him.
responsibility.
Yeah, I have to support him.
Yeah, he's asking support, but he's actually delegated it to you.
Right. And
Right.
he will put this point in my KPI, my KRA, I can say.
Wow. That's
So
great.
thanks God, he's keeping it openly because there are so many leaders who will take the things from you, but that will not mention anywhere in your KPI or I can say appraisal.
Right. Right. Yes. Okay. That's awesome. And the reason that he is doing it is why? He's saying that he doesn't have the bandwidth to do it,
He
or he
has the
doesn't have the
bandwidth.
skills to do it. He doesn't have
He
the
has
skills to do it.
he used to do it, right? He used to do it. He's
Vitesh, your
saying
voice keeps going up and down. It's very hard. One time when you say, "Can you hear me?" It's very good. Then when you start talking, it just goes down. It seems
no,
like
I
you're
think it is
far away from the mic.
actually I'm using my headphone. So I
Now
think
this
I
is
have to
now it's
remove.
good. Now it's good. Huh.
He's saying I am doing succession planning, right? But I want to you plan succession planning as your own way because there might be something new that I'll get it from you. If there is some correction required in my plan, he will definitely support me.
Yeah, it's actually should be the other way around. If any correction required in his plan, you should be doing it. That's why I was laughing that he's actually delegated his responsibility to you. So it should
Yeah,
be the other way around. He is the one to be making the plan, and you should be the one reviewing the plan. He's done the other way around. He's asked you to make the plan, and he will review the plan
maybe
because it's
other way
his
also.
succession planning. It's not your succession planning. He knows his role. See, succession planning means what? That I am identifying the right person who can take my chair. That's the basic meaning of succession planning. Now, when I am in a certain position, when I'm doing my job, there are several things, there are many things which are so intangible, it's impossible for you to put it in a job description. It's just literally impossible to put everything in job description to say, I'll do this, I do that. There are so many things that he does. In fact, so many things he does, and I can guarantee that so many things he does that you would not want to put it in the job description.
Yeah,
There are many things we have to do. So I'm not judging it. I'm not judging that this is right or wrong. I'm not saying from that point of view. I know that there are certain things sometimes we have to do in order to get the work done.
Yes.
And you won't be putting it in the job description that you have to do it. It's just common sense and understood that sometimes you have to make those kind of ethical, moral decisions that these things need to be done. So everything cannot be documented. And this is the
Yeah.
reason the person who is in the chair has to do it himself because that person is living that life day to day. If he's asking you to do it, you don't know many things you wouldn't know, many things he wouldn't share with you.
Right. Sir.
So it's literally impossible for you to do succession planning for another person. It kind of defeats the whole point. Succession planning is what I have to do. I have to find a person who I feel will best suit to replace me.
Yeah, that is exactly. That is a, we are creating the talent for the future, for the next level within the
Yeah,
organization.
yeah, in the organization. And it's not like that you're creating it. See, succession planning is not just the talent. So, succession planning is not creating or developing. Succession planning is identifying.
Yeah, identifying,
So
right.
you cannot just pick a person and create the person into that one. You have to identify the person is already either ready or not ready, right?
Yeah.
आप कोई कुछ भी चीज को पकड़ के उसको हीरे में नहीं कन्वर्ट कर सकते हो. इट हैज टू बी it already has to have the potential to be converted into the diamond.
Yeah.
So it's not about developing or creating, it is about identifying. Hello.
Yes, yes, yes. Hmm.
Yeah. So that identification has to be done by the person itself. वो एक ऐसी चीज होती है जो he has to keep an eye in the organization and see that this person seems potential. And succession planning is not done. Succession planning involves an element of mentoring as well. Succession planning is not planning. Succession planning is a word that is or a phrase that is used for a process.
Yeah.
Succession planning is not done on paper. Succession planning is actually done. So, what I mean is that the leader who is supposed to do succession planning, they identify two, three, four people and start mentoring and grooming them without actually telling them why they are grooming them,
Yeah.
right? Otherwise, what happens that expectations get raised and those people start to compete with each other.
Hmm.
So when you identify the right kind of people in the organization as a leader, you know one day these people can replace me. One day these people will be a good fit for me.
Yeah.
So if I have to go in next 5 years, succession planning starts like that. So I have to go in 5 years. It's not about documenting what I am doing and creating a job description so you can do recruitment and hiring accordingly. That is not succession planning. That is
Yeah.
recruitment. वो तो आप हमेशा ही करते हो. Succession planning is very different to recruitment. Succession planning is identifying the right people, and usually it's not just one person. Usually you identify two, three, four people because you don't know somebody might leave while you are doing succession planning with them, right? Or somebody might not be the right fit. So
Right.
right
Right.
now
Right.
I
Yeah.
feel right now I feel that these people are the right fit. But as I work with them over a few months, over a year, I realize that हाँ जैसा मुझे लगा था, but this person is not. So I have to let go of that person from this expectation. So this is the reason why the good leader will never disclose that why they are grooming these people because This will unnecessarily raise expectation and raise
In this
politics.
process, or I can say जो entire प्रक्रिया होती है, हमें we create multiple people for the future roles.
Yes.
एक साल बाद ये, 2 साल बाद ये, 3 साल बाद ये. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हम ये आइडेंटिफाई करते हैं हम लोग इसमें कि जो पर्सन है उसके अंदर वो टैलेंट या पोटेंशियल है कि नहीं. तो सारी चीज़ें वही
Correct.
होती है. बेस्ड ऑन दैट उसके फिर रोल डिसाइड करते हैं कैसे करना है, क्या करना है.
नहीं, मेरे को सेकंड पॉइंट नहीं समझ में आया. बेस्ड ऑन दैट व्हाई यू डिसाइड द रोल. Based on the role you should be deciding the people.
हेलो.
Yeah, I hear you. I didn't get the second point. You said based on that we decide the role.
Based on that, we decide if someone is good in data analytics. Like I'm giving an example at the initial starting, after doing a campus placement, he's good in data analytics. Then we can put that person in business. We can make him in the department of business analysis, P&L analysis part of that. Yes, he's good in that area. After 5 years or 10 years, he can be assistant to my CFO and CEO.
Yeah, but succession planning is not that, Vijesh.
Okay.
See, succession planning का मतलब है कि someone is going. So succession planning is mostly done at a high leadership level.
Yeah, without that the
Right.
person cannot do anything. उससे मेरे को कर ही नहीं सकता. एक प्रॉपर मेंटर भी होगा उसके लिए.
So हम हायर लीडरशिप लेवल पे सक्सेशन प्लानिंग इसलिए करते हैं क्योंकि वो जिस पोजीशन पे होते हैं उस पर बहुत कुछ इनटेंजिबल होता है, बहुत कुछ अनडॉक्यूमेंटेड होता है और बहुत सारी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज ऐसी होती हैं जो एक एक चीज को स्पेल आउट नहीं कर सकते हैं. एंड दे आर रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन ग्रोथ, द कल्चर ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, द टीम्स एंड ऑल दैट. तो उनका जो काम है वो जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन और रिक्रूटमेंट बेस्ड नहीं होता है.
नहीं होता. राइट.
आप जो ये डेटा एनालिटिक्स या ये सब जो बातें कर रहे हो ये तो टैलेंट बेस्ड है, ये तो रिक्रूटमेंट की बातें कर रहे हो आप. सक्सेशन प्लानिंग इज नॉट रिक्रूटमेंट. सक्सेशन प्लानिंग इज कि मैं जा रहा हूँ, मेरे ट्रांजिशन में मेरे पीछे कौन लगेगा. If the CEO of the organization knows that I am going to be stepping out in next 2, 3, 5 years, if the CFO knows that, if the COO knows that, if the general manager knows that, उनकी पोजीशन पे सक्सेशन प्लानिंग होती है. डेटा एनालिटिक्स और एनालिस्ट्स और प्रोग्रामर्स इनके लेवल पे थोड़ी सक्सेशन प्लानिंग होती है, वहाँ तो रिक्रूटमेंट होती है.
Yeah, you are right.
हाँ, तो वहाँ तो आपको सिर्फ टैलेंट आइडेंटिफाई करना है, वहाँ तो आपको बस ये देखना है हाँ ये बंदा क्या काम करता है, इसकी रोल्स रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटीज क्या हैं और हमको ये चाहिए मार्केट से. वो सक्सेशन प्लानिंग नहीं बोलते उसको, वो रिक्रूटमेंट होती है. Succession planning is very different. Succession planning is when a leader knows that कोई जैसे चीफ मिनिस्टर है, चीफ मिनिस्टर जब जा रहा है, ट्रांजिशन हो रहा है, तो उसको मालूम है कि मेरे को छोड़ना है और मेरे को ये मेरा जो जो कोई और आएगा तो मेरे को अगर अगर मोदी जा रहा होगा प्राइम मिनिस्टर, उसको पता है कि हाँ जीतेगी तो हमारी पार्टी ही, लेकिन मेरी एज हो गई है, अभी मेरे को और प्राइम मिनिस्टर नहीं बनना है. तो वो ग्रूम कर रहा होगा राइट काइंड ऑफ पीपल जो मेरी चेयर ले सकें, उसको सक्सेशन प्लानिंग बोलते हैं.
अब मेरे को
तो
समझ में आ गया. यू आर राइट. व्हेन ही वाज चीफ
वो
मिनिस्टर इन गुजरात, जब वहाँ का चीफ मिनिस्टर था, जब उसने पीएम के लिए प्लान किया तो उसने किसी न किसी को डेडिकेट किया होगा. आपकी जो नीचे
डेडिकेट
किसी
क्या
टीम.
होगा, डेडिकेट ही नहीं, ऐसा नहीं बस मैं जा रहा हूँ इसको बिठा दो, नहीं, वो पहले से उसने कैंपेनिंग करके रखी होगी, पहले से उसकी पोजीशनिंग इमेज बना रहा होगा ताकि जैसे ही मैं हटूं और वो आए तो लोग उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लें. ये ऐसे नहीं
जी.
होता मैं जा रहा हूँ मेरी जगह ये आ जाएगा,
नहीं
ऐसे
नहीं,
नहीं
वो तो
होती है. दिस इज
प्रॉपर.
नॉट सक्सेशन प्लानिंग. वो पूरी इमेज बिल्डिंग, पीआर, एवरीथिंग हैपेंस. तो अगर कोई सीईओ है या सीएफओ है ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जिसकी फॉलोअरशिप है, लोग उसको मानते हैं, उसकी लीडरशिप को मानते हैं और उसको, तो ऐसा नहीं वो कल को चला जाएगा और बोलेगा ये अब XYZ मेरी जगह सीईओ बन जाएगा, इसको सक्सेशन प्लानिंग नहीं बोलते. सक्सेशन प्लानिंग में उसने बहुत टाइम से अपने जो सक्सेसर है उसकी इमेज बिल्डिंग के ऊपर काम कर रहा होगा, वो बैकग्राउंड में उसको धीरे धीरे लोगों के आगे डाल रहा होगा, धीरे धीरे लोगों का कॉन्फिडेंस बन रहा होगा उसके ऊपर, और धीरे धीरे लोगों को ही दिखने लगेगा कि हाँ एक दिन ये CFO या CEO जाएगा तो ये बंदा उसकी जगह ले सकता है। लोगों को ये चीज़ दिखने लगेगी कि हाँ वी कैन एक्सेप्ट दिस पर्सन एज अ CEO, इसमें कैपेबिलिटीज हैं, जिसको सक्सेशन प्लानिंग बोलते हैं। ये काम आप कैसे करोगे? ये काम तो जो लीडर है उसी को करना होगा। आपको उन्होंने बता दिया आपको।
नहीं नहीं, मैं समझ गया कि उन्होंने मुझे डेलीकेट किया है, किसी करो प्लान करके दो मेरे को।
हाँ, पर वो आपका काम ही नहीं है उसको प्लान करके देना। आई थिंक उनको शायद समझ नहीं है ठीक से कि उनको करना क्या है, इसलिए उन्होंने आपको डेलीगेट कर दिया कि आप कर लो, क्योंकि ये काम आपका है ही नहीं। ये काम नहीं है, ये एक PR एक्टिविटी है। इसमें जो लोग वो आइडेंटिफाई करेंगे, उन लोगों के ऊपर उनको खुद को ट्रस्ट होना चाहिए कि हाँ ये मेरी कुर्सी संभाल सकते हैं। मोदी अगर उसको PM से हटना है और अपनी उस आगे BJP ही अगर जीतेगी तो ऑलरेडी एक दो लोगों को वो प्रमोट कर रहा होगा, एक दो लोगों को वो ऐसी इमेज बना रहा होगा जो लोगों के ऑलरेडी दिमाग में चल रहा है मोदी जाएगा तो ये आ
जी।
जाएगा, राइट। वो ऐसा नहीं कि मोदी उसको कल को बस लाके बिठा देगा कि अभी मेरी जगह ये प्राइम मिनिस्टर, क्योंकि मोदी ने अपना नाम अर्न किया है इतने सालों से। बस उसके कह देने से, ठीक है, उसके कह देने से बहुत सारे जो हैं लोग जो सिर्फ आंख बंद करके विश्वास कर लेते हैं वो कर लेंगे, लेकिन मोस्टली पीपल विल नॉट जस्ट सी कि हाँ ये जैसा मोदी था यही होगा। उसको उसकी इमेज क्रिएट करनी पड़ेगी ओवर टाइम, जबकि उसको पता, इसको सक्सेशन प्लानिंग बोलते हैं कि ये स्ट्रेटेजिकली कुछ सालों तक ये एक्टिविटी चल रही है और आपको मालूम है कि एक दिन मेरे को रिटायर होना है, एक दिन मेरे को निकलना है और मेरे को ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को या अपनी टीम को अच्छे हाथों में देके जाना है। इसको सक्सेशन प्लानिंग बोलते हैं। जो आप कर रहे हो तो रिक्रूटमेंट है कि सिर्फ प्लान बना लो, जॉब डिस्क्रिप्शन को नोट डाउन कर लो, मैं क्या क्या करता हूँ ये कर लो, मैं रिव्यू कर लूंगा, मैं देख लूंगा हाँ सब कुछ है या नहीं है। ये सक्सेशन प्लानिंग नहीं होती है। ये तो आप रिक्रूटमेंट में तो ये तो हर रोल के लिए ही करते हो। Is that making sense? Is that
यस
clear?
यस। आपने काफी क्लियर कर दिया कि आई एम मोर इन टैलेंट एक्विजिशन, टैलेंट मैनेजमेंट।
Correct,
और
correct, correct.
जो मेरे लाइन मैनेजर है स्टूडियो बोल देंगे आप सक्सेसफुल प्लानिंग करो, क्योंकि मुझे ठीक से नहीं पता
हाँ,
है हाउ टू डू इट।
I feel कि he doesn't fully understand what succession planning actually means, तो इसलिए उन्होंने आपको हैंड ओवर कर दिया है, आप ही कर लो। क्योंकि आई गारंटी कि जो लीडर ये समझता है ना कि सक्सेशन प्लानिंग का मतलब क्या है, वो कभी करेगा ही नहीं ये चीज़। वो बल्कि आप बोलोगे भी ना कि मैं करता हूँ तो वो आपको करने ही नहीं देंगे। वो खुद ही करेंगे, क्योंकि उनको मालूम है कि मैं क्या क्या करता हूँ, मुझे क्या कौन बिठाना है इस कुर्सी पे, वो उनको क्लियर है। So I don't think he fully understands what succession planning means. I'm sure he would be a very smart person. I'm not saying that, but just जो आपने describe किया उसके basis पे I can conclude he doesn't understand what succession planning means. If he has delegated that to you, वो talent management या talent acquisition की तरह दिख रहे हैं इस activity को।
मे बी यू आर राइट।
That's not. Succession planning, like I said, it's not something which is done on paper. Succession planning is a process that is done over months and years. So it's a plan that is executed. And it's a very flexible plan. It's not something you sit down and you document, you strategize. And no, it is something you just start doing and you see what is working, what is not working. And there is no need to even document any of these things. Because usually succession planning is than within the organization. You will identify the right kind of person in the organization. You're not going outside the organization. It defeats the whole point. It defeats the whole point of doing that because लोगों को जो लोग ऑलरेडी एग्जिस्ट कर रहे हैं उन पे ज़्यादा विश्वास रहेगा. वो बाहर से किसी को ला के बिठाना किसी के ऊपर वो तो टैलेंट एक्विजिशन है. दैट्स नॉट सक्सेशन unless your leader knows somebody outside the organization and sees this would be the right fit and he has already been doing succession planning with that person outside. That's a different scenario. But उस केस में भी that person, that leader should be softly introducing that person, even if that person is outside the organization. Still उसकी image build करने की, उसकी credibility build करने की जरूरत है अंदर. ये एक पॉलिटिकल कैंपेन की तरह होता है ये, जिसको एग्जीक्यूट करना पड़ता है. लोगों का वोट जीतना पड़ता है, लोगों का ट्रस्ट जीतना पड़ता है कि मेरे बाद ये है, चाहे वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर हो चाहे ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के बाहर हो. बट ये कैंपेनिंग करनी पड़ती है. दिस इज पार्ट ऑफ सक्सेशन प्लानिंग.
So, आप सजेस्ट करें व्हाट शुड आई डू?
Have a talk with him first of all and get a clear understanding. Does he even know what succession planning means? क्योंकि unless you both are on the same page, you will have plenty of arguments on this topic. अभी आपको समझ में आ गया, अब आप अपने हिसाब से कुछ करोगे, उनको समझ में आया नहीं, आप कुछ प्लान बनाओगे, कुछ बात करोगे, आप दोनों के बहुत आर्ग्यूमेंट्स होने वाले हैं.
Yes, somewhere.
हाँ, आई कैन गारंटी कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स होने वाले हैं क्योंकि आपकी अंडरस्टैंडिंग चेंज हो गई है, उनकी नहीं हुई है. तो फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट थिंग, यू बोथ हैव टू कम टू द सेम पेज. I understand कि are you talking about succession planning or are you talking about talent acquisition? क्लियर कर लो, मतलब वो करना क्या चाह रहे हैं. अगर वो ये बोल रहे हैं कि नहीं मैं तो टैलेंट एक्विजिशन की बात कर रहा था बट वर्ड में सक्सेशन प्लानिंग यूज कर रहा हूँ, तो एटलीस्ट यू नो कि he keeps saying succession planning but what actually he means is talent acquisition. तो ठीक है, फिर उनको करने दो जो भी वर्ड यूज कर रहे हैं, फ्रेज यूज कर रहे हैं. आपको समझ में आ गया ना, ही इज नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट सक्सेशन प्लानिंग, ही इज टॉकिंग अबाउट टैलेंट एक्विजिशन. तो आप टैलेंट एक्विजिशन के हिसाब से काम करो. और अगर आपको समझ में आ रहा है कि नहीं ये टैलेंट एक्विजिशन की बात नहीं कर रहे हैं, ये सक्सेशन प्लानिंग की ही बात कर रहे हैं बट ही इज नॉट फुल्ली अंडरस्टैंडिंग इट, then you explain him what is required and you explain him his part in the role that he needs to play in this activity. और वो
He is
समझ
more
में
talking
आने.
about he is more talking about the future talent. That is a talent acquisition management. Not in
हाँ,
success.
तो फिर उनको क्लियर करो कि ये सक्सेशन प्लानिंग नहीं होता है. इट्स ओके, वी कैन, यू कीप सेइंग सक्सेशन प्लानिंग बट ये सक्सेशन प्लानिंग नहीं है, ये टैलेंट एक्विजिशन है. इट्स ओके, हमें सक्सेशन प्लान तो हम टैलेंट एक्विजिशन के ऊपर ही फिर उसी हिसाब से हम काम करते हैं, वही प्लान बनाते हैं. तो ठीक है, बट मेक इट क्लियर टू हिम कि आप बार बार बोलते हो सक्सेशन प्लानिंग बट हम जो कर रहे हैं वो टैलेंट एक्विजिशन कर रहे हैं. तो आई जस्ट वांट टू क्लैरिफाई दोनों में क्या है.
मैं बात करूंगा इसके ऊपर इनसे.
हाँ, पहले क्लैरिटी की जरूरत है, नहीं तो कॉन्फ्लिक्ट ही बने रहेंगे. आप कुछ बोलोगे, आप एक पॉइंट से बोलोगे, वो एक पॉइंट से सुनेंगे. एंड आप कुछ प्लान बनाओगे, रिव्यू कर रहे हो, इट्स जस्ट गोइंग टू क्रिएट मोर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट्स बिटवीन यू टू.
Thank you, Sachin, for clarifying these things. I think using the wrong word. He should use normally talent acquisition, but he's using the succession plan.
Great, great. Vinay, are you able to hear us now? You are muted from your side, so in case if you're talking, you have to unmute and talk. All right, okay. so not sure what's happening. But good. Anybody else has any question or anything on this topic? Or Bijesh, you have any more? मुझे तो
No,
almost
no,
नहीं
no.
बोलना. I think we have covered it quite well.
Yes, sir. It is very well elaborated all the things.
Okay, okay. Okay, Vinay, we get that. Okay, so you can hear. Any question you have or anything you want to say, Vinay, you can type and then I'll read out the comment. That's okay, Vinay. That's fine. No problems. Maybe next time we can check what happened. But if you want to, I think it was informative. Okay, okay. Anything you want to add to this? Anything you want to share? Doesn't have to be question answer only. Anything from your experience you want to add? I'll read out your comment if you want to say something. All right. So until that happens, if anybody else has anything to share on this, anyone wants to say anything?
Hi Sachin, good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Hi, Jaspreet.
Yeah, just wanted to know how it plans and how it been done, the succession planning. So how from the scratch.
Okay. Just 1 minute. I think he. Uh, oh, so Vinay has posted other messages also. I didn't see. Okay. So it says Congress made this mistake like appointing Rajiv Gandhi, PV Narasimha Rao, Manmohan Singh, and is where it failed as the hierarchy just appointed them, but the entire control was not given to them. Correct? Yeah, that's correct. That's right, Vinay. That's what I was distinguishing. Ki this is more like recruiting and not succession planning. So recruiting is when you just feel that this is the right talent, right person. You only hire the person based on the skills and their expertise, their skills and all that, which is fine. You feel that this person can do. That's fine. Succession planning has another sensitive angle to it, and that is adaptability by the people in the organization. So whether they are adopting that person or not. So it's got nothing to do with their talent, with their skills, with their competency and all that. So leadership level pay, it's not just about how well the person can do their job. It is also about are people accepting that person, and that is why succession planning is different to just pure talent acquisition or recruiting. So that is the point I wanted to bring out as well in this conversation. That mostly people uh, doing a talent acquisition or recruiting kind of an activity, but call it succession planning, and it's not. Succession planning has a very strong element of mentoring and very strong element of uh, identifying the right person, developing the right person, creating the image of the right person in the eyes of the other people, softly giving them the responsibilities, um, and seeing that if the leader is doing 10 things, then give one thing to this person and see whether they are able to do it or not. So softly giving them one or two responsibilities, see how they do it, whether they and how gracefully they fail. It's not that you only judge people by the success they create, but you also have to judge people by how gracefully they fail. Not every decision has to be based on success only, right? That's my opinion. That just because you can succeed in doing something, if the other person is not succeeding, making mistakes or anything, then you can't just say no, no, not the right fit. No, the person may not have succeeded right now, but how gracefully the person has failed is also something to take into account. So, as I have said before in this conversation, there's so many things in succession planning that are just impossible to document. It's not something that you can document. It's so intangible. There's so many. It's just impossible to create a job description out of it. So only the person who is in that chair knows. So they cannot delegate it. It's not some other person who can do this for them. If they are delegating, that itself is an indication that they are seeing this as a talent acquisition activity. They are seeing it as my roles and responsibilities are clear. Anybody can do it. So you do it. I'll review it. You make the plan. I'll review it and all that. Then that leader doesn't understand succession planning, or they do understand succession planning, but that's not what they want to do. They actually are saying succession planning, but they're actually doing talent acquisition. So very important to be clear. And you said there has to be hand holding and understanding between the person who is moving out and the person coming in. Absolutely. Absolutely. I think we covered that. So 100%. That hand holding has to be there. You have to softly bring that person and let people accept the fact that one day when you will be transitioning, this person is the successor. People have been doing that from the old ages. This has been done when a king is moving out, and their son or someone has to take over. Then building that image of that person, that one day this my son will be taking over, not just because the fact that they inherit the throne. uh, they also have to feel that this person is the right fit. People will accept this person. So as I said, this has the element of politics, and it cannot be overlooked. It's just what it is. It's not a pure talent acquisition activity. It's not about finding the right fit. It's not about finding the person who can do the job better than you. It is about whether people will accept him or not, or her or not. So that's succession planning. Um, and just to answer your question, how to do it is what I think in bits and pieces I've said that the first and foremost step is whoever has to do succession planning for their chair, they have to identify. So usually the practice is to identify 3 to 5 people, 3 to 4 people. You identify that one day these people can replace me. They can take over from me. And in a good way. I'm not talking in a replace or take over in a bad sense, like not a coup or something. I'm talking about that they can. I see that when I will transition from this chair, whether I am leaving the organization or whether I'm going to the next level, whichever way it is, when the chair is empty, then these 3 or 4 people, one of them is capable of doing it. So the leader identifies those people. Usually, they will not disclose their intention to them because it raises expectation and can also raise politics among those 3 or 4 people. So, without raising any kind of expectation, this person will start mentoring them, will start grooming them, they will start to see by giving them small baby step responsibilities, what they are doing, see how they do things, how they respond, how people respond to when they do it. So they start to do that judgment. So it's not something you do it on a piece of paper, strategize it, and then execute. No, it's something which you just do and see what is working, what is not working, because there's so many unknowns here that it's just a wasteful activity to actually plan it on a piece of paper. It's something you just do it because you don't even know how the other people are going to respond, how they are going to do this activity, take this responsibility, all that. So you just do it and and you observe. And it's not something you have to create a process out of it, right? So you can't create a process out of this thing that you have to document it so it will be useful for the next person. No, it's not going to be useful at all for the other person. When their successor is going to come on this chair, that successor will have his or her own way to do succession planning for that. So there is no process for this thing. There is no set kind of thing. This is a template. This is the procedure. There is no such thing. And this is wasteful activity to even invest time and energy on doing that, because the organization dynamics is changing, organization culture is changing, the values are changing, the competition is changing, employees are changing, time is changing, people who come, everything is changing. So your successor, if they would have created a plan, let's say you came to this chair um, 15 years ago, and your successor created a plan 15 years ago, how is that plan going to be relevant now? 15 years ago, there were no millennials, the technological advances, there was no COVID, there was no work from home, there was no any of those things. So there's so much that has changed in 15 years. How is that process going to be useful to do succession planning now? So total waste of energy and time to do that, to invest in it. Um, Let the leader just do it, and let them be trust them that they will find the right fit for you. Um, and that's basically it. So uh, it's it's about the leader understanding what they want to do, and from HR point of view, from other things, your job is basically to provide them the support that they need, to provide them the assistance what they need. Uh, but definitely, it is not your job to do it for them. So if they are asking you to do it, in my opinion, that is definitely not. Uh, Unless you are doing your own succession planning for what you are doing, different thing. But if another leader is asking you to do it for them, then they don't understand succession planning. As plain and simple fact. It is such a um, intangible, fluid flow thing that there is no point in documenting any of this thing. It's of no use. It's of no use. That document, that process is of no use at all. So that's that's what I think.
Yeah, thank you. Got it, the crux of it. So I think so. It's different from altogether from talent. But normally the middle mid segment companies don't does like that. They always in succession and talent management. That's it.
Yeah, 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 yeah. They don't. Again, like I said, they don't do it like that. It's probably because they don't understand it. So see, it's important that when we say we don't do it, we make a conscious decision. So if someone someone is saying that we are not doing it, I'm okay. If they fully understand and they say we fully understand that this is what is required, it's just way too complex for us, or we are just way too small to worry about this thing. Um, I'm okay. I don't have an issue. So that's a conscious decision. At least I understand what it means and I have decided I'm not going to do it. Totally fine. No issues in that. They are free to choose whether they want to do it or not. But when somebody rejects something without fully understanding it, that is where I question. What exactly are you rejecting? You don't even fully understand what you're rejecting. So, so point is to fully understand what you're rejecting. So if you are saying we don't do succession planning, but we also don't understand what succession planning is, then my question is, then what exactly are you rejecting? You don't even know what it is. Then how do you conclude that I don't want to do it?
Correct. Yeah, that really makes a difference. Of before understanding, we are rejecting it. At least we should understand what we are rejecting.
Exactly, exactly. At least have an internal talk about it, and say that yes, we fully understand. This is what succession planning means. This is what talent management means. So we are not going to worry about succession planning. Fully understand, and we are not going down that track. So actually, a very similar example happened, which is different, but just to elaborate on this, an example happened that um, we were talking to a social media marketing agency to help us out, and they were explaining to us that we should do this. We should invest our time in LinkedIn and other. We are not very active on Instagram, and we should do these postings, and we should you know spend time in creating organic reach and all that. And we very clearly said that we fully understand this. We just don't want to do it. It's not that a if I'm rejecting something, I'm rejecting it consciously. I know I don't want to do it. I fully understand what it is, but that doesn't fit in our business strategy. That's not what we want to do. So to me, it's not that I'm rejecting it that I don't fully understand it. I fully understand. I fully understand what it will bring to us. We fully understand that how much time and energy we have to invest in it. Based on that full understanding, we've decided that's not for us. We don't want to do it, and that's basically it. So Vinay has written, theoretically many things can be done, however practically it has to be done. When we learn anything in school, college, we plan to become a finance professional or doctor or be in any profession. Only when we are on the right, on the field practically, we come to know about the challenges, hardships, and difficulties. I can tell you about myself. I completed my graduation, started working for a chartered accountant, where a person who was just a high school pass taught, taught me practical accounts. No doubt I understood better than at a later stage as I had the theoretical knowledge as well. Yeah, sure. Okay, guys. So, hmm, so let's conclude this over here. I think I have covered whatever I wanted to cover. Thank you for the session. Thanks,
You,
Vinay.
Sachin.
Hopefully, thanks,
Thank
Pradeep.
you. Bye bye.
Hopefully, next time. Bye.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank you. And I think so. We are
yes,
meeting
we
at
are.
5.
Yeah, yes, we are.
That's another interesting topic to be
Yes,
discussed.
Thank you, Sachin.
I was. Yes, yes. Then,
Okay.
Okay,
thanks,
thanks
Vinay.
everyone.
Thank you
Hopefully,
Have a
very
good
much.
next
day.
time you have your mic working. Thanks, Pradeep. Thanks, Vijesh.
Okay. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Anamika.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Anamika.
Sachin.
Bye.
Thank you,
Thanks,
everyone.
All
Yeah,
everyone.
right.
bye,
Thank
bye,
Thank you very
bye.
much. Yeah.